These are all our children. We haven't even named them all yet. Got so many kids.
Know me?
We've got Stella and Eve and Angela, and we got Naomi and Lily, and I'm Paul. Yesterday we had the Square Lake Festival, which is this was the 12th annual one, and so Angela and I put it together, and it's a day of music and film, all Minnesota music and Minnesota film.
Here we are at Square Lake Festival.
This is Charlie
so far,
Henriksen.
So good. That's me, Tim Donahue, John Vance. We're the Eclectic Ensemble.
We biked up here today, and what a fantastic adventure that was, and what an honor it is to be here and to be part of this.
Yeah, and we played already, but we're gonna also play small sets over here, interstitial sets between the films and music for a few more times, and then we're doing a special breakfast sunrise ambient set tomorrow morning for everyone as they wake up and sort of pack up their tents. So, and that's our forte. That's where we started. So,
we are solar powered, weather permitting. If the sun pops out, we're gonna harness that power of the sun. That's our deal.
My story is that after Paul graduated from college, he went to Japan and lived there for a couple years. And tell him about the festivals you saw in Japan.
Yeah, there's a lot of smaller or medium-sized events there, and I went to one like every weekend. And when I came home, then just saw this property in a different light and decided we could do it here.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm Dan from Reuben, Stillwater, Minnesota, and we're having a good time at Square Lake Music Fest, aren't we, Dan?
We are. We're having a really great time.
Yes.
So my dad built pretty much everything on this property. So like that house there, he built the building that we show the films in used to be on top of the cement foundation of that house, and he built the stage out of repurposed barn materials for it. And so he's the mastermind behind all the built parts of the event. He's a do-it-yourselfer. He reuses materials, so if we've got an idea, he'll just pull it off. And whereas someone else might say, well, it's going to cost $3,500 to do this. So we've always, what he's done is just take whatever we can find and make something like the stage or the one we have in there. Yep.
So people have been talking about Paul all day. Do you know who Paul is? How many of you know who Paul is? Okay. Paul organizes this. He's done it 12 times. And this is the house that he grew up in, actually. And Paul's parents live here. Their names are Warren and Linda. And each year, once a year, they let this happen. So we're going to do, hey, Warren and Linda, are you out there? Throw a hand in the air. Well, we're just going to say it really loud, and then hopefully they'll hear it carrying across the grounds. On 3, I want you to say, thank you, Warren and Linda. You got it? 1, 2, 3. We got half the team, right? That's super awesome.
We used to have a stage with it didn't really have a roof. We would put a parachute over it, and it looked really great, and we thought it was super cool. But then it rained one year, and the parachute didn't really hold up.
Yeah.
So then after that, Paul's dad, he's very good at problem solving, and he just had this all recycled materials, and he just drew up a blueprint and went to work, and by the next year we had this tin roof.
But he built it back in the woods, just like over there, 50 feet from here, and then we rolled it out here.
Hey Paul, we gotta keep this interview to 10 minutes long.
That's my intern over there.
Okay.
We want to focus on a type of film that doesn't get as much exposure as others, which is experimental or animation.
Short.
Short films that are made in the area.
It's as if nature itself is conspiring to keep these clones from living.
So the criteria is, it has a lot to do with just being as, it sounds kind of vague, but creative. Films that try new things, so they're experimental or they're non-commercial in nature. There's a jury that we show all the films, or most of the films to, and then they make selections about the award winners from that.
And the message to you guys is to don't give up. Like any challenges that you think you may have, you can always push through them.
I'm Dane Cree. I'm a graduate of the Minneapolis College of Art and Design, also known as MCAD. And I design murals and I make animations. But for this event, Paul Krieger gave me a call and asked if I'd be interested in painting a second design on the barn here. And I said yes. I logged the hours, but I haven't added them up yet. It's quite a few. I would say it'd be easier to talk about it in nights because I usually would work at night. There were a couple days also. When I was thinking about the barn and the symmetry of it, I was also thinking about the hill that, is just across from it, and the audience sitting on the hill looking at the barn would hopefully have the experience of where they are kind of being reflected back at them in a way.
Yeah.
The idea of perfection is not really something. I mean, it's fun to think about, but it isn't something that I'm striving for. I'm not trying to be a machine. Although I feel like one a lot of the times when I'm doing stuff like this because it's so labor intensive.
We just invite the people that we really like to see. What would we want to see?
Right.
And then also I've been hearing some people talk about this morning as they're packing up to go home, talking about the variety of different types of music that was here last night, and I think that's very intentional. Paul is really good at, we don't want to have 7 indie rock bands in a row ever, so.
Yeah, I really like going from one genre to another, like a big jump. Then you can really see the difference between the two.
Hi, we are Cheryl Dame. I'm Sarah White. This is Damian Strange, Rico Simone Mendez, Rye Dillon, Blair Alexander, and we're having a great time at the Square Lake Film and Music Festival.
Say this love be kind of shady, and someone may see us maybe. When you tell me that you love me, yes, I know you never love me, cause you only love yourself. And I'm drowning in my skin, cause I'll never let you in. But some the woman like a warrior, when she's gone, you better love her, cause I'll never be again. I'm saying take me everywhere, cause I don't even care if they hear us.
You know, it may not, there's not a lot of infrastructure, but because we're a small team, it takes a while. Take a couple days to put up, a couple days to take down, and then, you know, a little bit at a time, a year to produce. You know, it's stuff we enjoy doing, so, you know, go to shows and,
Watching
you know,
movies.
watch films.
Thank you so much. We're called Carol, 2 R's, 2 L's. Paul, thank you so much for letting us play in the backyard.
So we have like half of our attendees show up on bikes, and many of them bike from the Twin Cities, and it's like 40 miles, right?
Right. Yeah, one way.
And then there's this big hill at the very end of the journey to get to the top of the hill to get to our driveway, and people are just really happy to be here, and they've worked so hard and they're coming up that hill, and I just feel like we should have a parade for them. And so my idea is next year we have like the Next Generation or something similar at the top of the driveway welcoming the bikers into the festival. So that's our first new idea for next year.
Try to phone home, you've never been alone. And all those strangers that you pay.
Square Lake's the best festival in the whole world.
It is. It truly is. We're happy to celebrate 12 years and the property of Paul Krieger, and we couldn't be at a better place on a better day, and we're all happy to be here. This is Frankie Lee.
A little muggy.
It is actually a little muggy. You know what?
I don't want to.
You know what? They didn't have the beer I wanted. It's cool. We're not gonna make a big deal of it, but it's cool. They didn't get my rider. It's cool. It's cool. It's fine. It's totally fine.
The pine trees, super into the
pine trees are cool.
Pines are
They're missing a few. They're missing a few branches, but it's fine.
So when we met 8 or 9 years ago, Paul was financing the festival from his tax return as a full-time teacher. Like whatever $1,500 he got back from his taxes that he did in April, he would use that money to book the bands. And it was smaller then. And then shortly after we met, he started looking for grant money, and we wrote grants together. And then it's grown since then, but only, like he said, like, so once we started getting a little bit more money from the grants that we were writing, it grew and up to the point where it is now, and we've been steady over the last probably 4 or 5 years. We've sold it out every year.
Just turn your back on the
This would be, I think, the 8th one we've done. So there were a few years where we didn't have a score. And yeah, I just think film scores are magical. I mean, and for us too, because we haven't seen it until the night of the event. And there's just something, it's kind of, you know, it's, we've talked about it a lot where, you know, you're in a spot and then all these people are experiencing the same thing for the first time. So just like sharing an experience with people.
Yeah, and we're surprised. I mean, we pick an artist based on like how much we love their music and maybe a certain quality to the music, and then we look for a film that might work in the available time that we have and sort of fits the vibe. And then we ask them to do it, and then we don't hear from them for 4 months, and they kind of just unveil it here, and we're seeing it for the first time just like everybody else.
On the radio said, please come to see the Chinese woman play the pipa. About 5 minutes later, they called the presenter and say, how could the Chinese woman play the pipa? That's how you play the pipa.
A couple months ago when I booked Gao Hong, well, I really liked the idea of like the stuff that Gao said, which was, I don't usually perform in spots like this. You know, usually performing in orchestra halls in different cities around the U.S. and she enjoyed it. So more of that, I'm like having a program that has a couple moments that are just completely
surprising.
Yeah, completely surprising.
I can imitate some sound like flowing water or bubbly water, or even like a cannon shot, or fireworks, or horse trotting. At the same time, you can hear the horse trotting like this.
Like, I don't think anybody who came out here knew what to expect from her, and everybody was just completely delighted.
Yeah, yeah, she's you know, on the international level considered a virtuoso. She just happens to be from the Twin Cities.
Well, she's from China. She lives.
I
in
mean,
the Twin
lives
Cities.
in the Twin Cities now.
We've been lucky the last couple of years, knock on wood.
Yeah, there was 3 years where the joke was just, you know, if you want rain, schedule the Square Lake Festival, because it would seriously
Like-
pour. I mean, and there was years where the bands had like garbage bags over their torsos with their arms stuck up because it just was raining all day.
Our poor sound guys that year.
Oh.
Like,
But we kept going through them, and I'd say now we assume it's gonna rain. It's going to rain tomorrow, you know, for the festival or whatever, and then if it doesn't, we're delighted.
I just want to say, last time Low played here, it rained really, really hard, and we used to use the parachute from an F-16 as our stage cover. We'd build the stage, and they rolled in here and saw a disarray. But they went in the barn and played an incredible show. People still stop me and say, yeah, I was at your house back in 2006 and saw Low in this barn. So I really want you to give them a warm thank you.
Thank you very much. What a beautiful evening. I apologize if we have broken a silence that was once set, both visually and sonically. Beautiful evening. People walking slowly through grass. Distant voices. Children happy and sad. And flowers. You could always count on your friends to get you high. That's right. You could always count on the friends to get you by. You could now they make you piss into a plastic cup and give it up. A couple probably be here long after we're gone. What's wrong? Probably dig it up 1,000 years from now. And they'll probably wonder what the hell we used it for. And more.
talented people who contribute their skills to this event. My partner Angela, my parents, my good friends. Lots of people out here tonight that just put a ton of time into this. And I gotta say, today just unfolded perfectly. Just dreamy. You know, even with the rain, we've had incredibly bad weather here before, so we really, you know, cut our teeth on a few years where it rained all day for 3 years in a row. So Dave Campbell does a great job. Let's give him a round of applause. Again, Low. And all the other great acts today, Gao. Amazing groups played today. So I just want to emphasize, this is, we're family, so you can definitely hang around. We got Charlie Parr in the barn. Am I dreaming right now? Charlie Parr's, he's just starting the set in the barn. And just want to thank you so much. Yeah. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
I think that's a big deal about this event, is it because it looks and feels like a different venue. Everybody experiences the stuff in a little bit different way. If a balloon flies overhead, it might just make your night, you know, and that's not going to happen in a theater somewhere.